It was nearly 10 years ago when the Edmonton Oilers would hit, literally, the lottery and hear these words.
Which team has that combination?
Edmonton.
The Edmonton Oilers have that combination and have won the draft lottery.
That's right, the Edmonton Oilers would win the lottery to draft Connor McDavid. Going into the 2015 draft, the Edmonton Oilers only had an 11.5% chance of winning. 14 balls put into a machine, 4 balls drawn at random, and whichever team had that combination of those 4 balls would get the right to draft first overall. And of course, the Edmonton Oilers did hold that combination with the lottery balls 5, 14, 6, and 1. The Edmonton Oilers would have the good fortune of drafting their next franchise player, Connor McDavid. And looking back on the last 10 years that Connor has spent with the Edmonton Oilers, multiple awards, MVPs, and in 2024, one game within winning the Stanley Cup. That's right, going to Game 7 of the 2024 Stanley Cup Finals. Of course, Connor McDavid, known for his goal scoring, his high IQ on the ice, his fast speed, and wow, have the Edmonton Oilers and hockey fans been treated to some of the greatest goals we've seen. But now we are going to play the what if game. What if Connor McDavid had been drafted and had played for one of the other NHL teams over the last 9 and 10 years? That's right. This is EA NHL 25 and my new series of Connor McDavid in the Matrix. He is going to play for all NHL teams one season, the 2024-25 season. And let's just see how he does with all these other teams. How many cups will he win? How many awards will he take home? Welcome to my new series, Connor McDavid in the Matrix. I hope you enjoy. All right. Welcome in, everyone. Good to see you on this Saturday afternoon. Laptop Hound here with a Twitch version of Connor McDavid in the Matrix. That's right. That's right. You know me. I like to play some oddball kind of situations. And with EA, now that I'm getting back into EA NHL, we've got this guy, Connor McDavid in the Matrix. This is episode number 3. I've already done a couple episodes of Connor. You saw the trailer at the front there. And Connor has already played with the Anaheim Ducks. Yeah, he's had a season in Anaheim. He's played a season with the Boston Bruins. And today, as we go alphabetically down the NHL teams, Connor McDavid is going to be in Buffalo. Remember, Buffalo had the best odds of drafting first overall back in the 2015 draft. That's right. They had the worst record in the regular season, which gave them the best odds. They were tanking for McDavid. It was well known in the league. Everyone knew that Buffalo was tanking for McDavid, looking for that next Gilbert Perreault, and they did not get it. The Edmonton Oilers moved up from number 3 to number 1. They drafted McDavid. Buffalo would draft Jack Eichel. And then Phoenix would draft a bust, I guess it would be a bust. They drafted one of the Stromes in the number 3 slot. So Connor McDavid, this series is about what if. What if Connor had been drafted by one of the other teams and played on that team all the way up to 2024? What would his season look like on that team in 2024-25? This is based off of my OOTP baseball series that I did back in OOTP 24, where I had Babe Ruth in the Matrix. And each week I would do a version of the game where Babe Ruth would play on one of the Major League Baseball teams in 2023. And just to see how he did. Could he win a World Series with Washington? Could he win a World Series with Arizona, with Boston, with Chicago. We had him play on all of the major league teams, and this is kind of a takeoff on that. This time with the Connor McDavid. So yes, Connor McDavid in the Matrix. I hope you enjoy it, and if you're a hockey fan, feel free to say hello. If you're watching on the YouTube side, I'm simulcasting on YouTube and on Twitch right now. So all the people on Twitch, hello out there. I will be streaming OOTP Baseball a little bit later tonight. Dishnet will not be on the official channel. He will not be doing the Saturday Showdown. So in that space before Max LP 80 comes on, I'm going to do a little bit of OTP, a little bit of, pack playoff preview. We'll take a look at the packs only teams and where they are and which teams are likely going to make the playoffs. And we will kind of dip into Saturday Showdown. I do have one of my alts registered for the Showdown today. So we will take a little bit of a peek in on that action as well. So some OOTP action coming up at about 7 p.m. Eastern. This is strictly the EA Connor McDavid in the Matrix. So glad to have you guys here. Again, if you're on the YouTube side, don't be shy. The Twitch side doesn't bite. This is not like Xbox versus PlayStation. This is not Coke versus Pepsi. This is not Beta versus VHS or Taylor Swift versus Blake Shelton. No, this is not that kind of competition. This is one of the best communities that I have out there in video gaming. So if you're new, if you're watching on the YouTube side, say hi, and I can put your comment on the screen like this one. If the Coyotes drafted him, would they still be? Oh, yeah, I have no doubt. No doubt, Jenks. It would have been enough to keep. I mean, the fans would have come because, the league was propping up the Coyotes for a long time. And they would have got the new arena because he definitely would have been the key factor in them getting a new arena. Yeah, for sure. For sure, they would be in Arizona and probably have made multiple championships. Wherever Connor would have went, it definitely would have helped the organization. He definitely has revived Edmonton. He's revived the Battle of Alberta. He's taken them to one game of the Stanley Cup Finals. Unfortunately, if you're watching this on VOD or weeks after the fact or a year after the fact, at the time of this recording, November the 2nd, by the way, don't forget, turn your clocks back tonight, North America. That's right. Tonight we turn our clocks back 1 hour. At this point in time, Connor McDavid is injured right now. So he is out for kind of day-to-day, week-to-week kind of thing on this November 2nd. So let's see how this goes. So in EA, you can set up a one-season mode, and you can switch players around from teams to teams. I did that at the beginning of the show here, not on stream. I moved Connor McDavid from Edmonton over to Buffalo for a 7th-round pick. I didn't want any players going back to Edmonton. Edmonton does not have Connor McDavid. They're McDavidless today. So just Buffalo has him. I also turn off the CPU trades because I don't want Connor traded. I don't want other players traded. Let's just go with the original rosters for the game. Then that will take me to my team selection. I'm going to go and select Buffalo, of course, because Connor is in Buffalo. And go down to continue. Pretty easy to set up if you kind of want to play out a matrix series. I also go and I turn injuries off. Injuries are a bummer, especially if you're controlling one of the teams. Injuries off. And otherwise, I kind of keep everything according to what EA has as their default settings. Okay, let's advance and back out of this. So Connor McDavid will be starting and playing the entire season on Buffalo. Like I said, he's been in Anaheim. He's been in Boston. Those are on my YouTube channel, strictly on YouTube. If you want to go check out how he did with the Ducks, how he did with Boston, you can go see the results there, see if he's won any awards. And look at this. There he is. This Buffalo fans, if there's any Buffalo fans out there, let me show you. They'll probably have him on the main screen here. Let me show you what Connor looks like as a member of the Buffalo Sabres. There you see him on the right-hand side of your screen. I'm telling you, I love the uniform. That's my favorite Buffalo uniform. Let's see if we can change. There's their home uniform, their alternate. I'm rocking the Bison. So let's see if they've got that one in the game. Doesn't look like it. Kind of a cool one. They didn't wear that one too long. A lot of variations of the blue or the purple with the swords and the buffalo. That one's kind of the 50th anniversary. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, EA allows you to. There we go. How's that? Pretty close. Okay, I think we're rocking that uniform to start here. So Connor McDavid going to play with the Buffalo Sabres. We're not going to watch any of the games. Maybe if they make the playoffs, we'll check that out. But let's exit the game. And I'll show you what the lines look like for Buffalo if they had Connor McDavid on their team. So they would be rocking with McDavid. Oops, we don't want the coach on. McDavid with Tuck and Peterka. Tage Thompson gets moved down to the second line because of Connor. He's playing with Jason Zucker and Dylan Cousins. Third line is former Oiler Ryan McLeod and Jack Quinn, along with a rookie of last year, Zach Benson. And on the fourth line, Peyton Krebs, Malenston, and Lafferty. On defense, the Buffalo Sabres are going with Rasmus Dahlin, former first overall pick. Owen Byram, traded from Colorado last year, I believe, on Buffalo now. Matthias Samuelsson, Owen Power, another top round pick for Buffalo. So they've got a lot of young talent there. Connor Clifton and Henry Yokikaru. And in net, the Buffalo Sabres at the beginning of the year had Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and Devon Levi, goalie of the future, likely for Buffalo. So that's what they're looking like. And let's see if Connor McDavid can at least lead them to a playoff position. Remember that Buffalo did play in Europe for their first two games. They played a back-to-back against Jersey. Lost both of them. Let's see what they can do. And they win one with Connor McDavid. All right, let's just always like to see if he gets his first goal in the very first game. So we're going to go check out that first box score. They won 6-1. 3 stars, Tage Thompson, Owen Byram, and Connor McDavid. So Connor McDavid's first game in Buffalo. Buffalo fans, I know you've been weepy. I know this brings back bad memories. I know, I get it. He was supposed to be in Buffalo. You had the best odds. He was right there for you. The balls just dropped the wrong way. You gotta hate it when your balls drop the wrong way, and they did. And he ended up in Edmonton. But this is your chance to see how your team might look this year if Connor McDavid was drafted by the Buffalo Sabres. And to make matters worse, you don't even have Jack Eichel anymore. He went off to Vegas. All right, 1-1 for Buffalo. Okay, again, just a quick episode. These are Matrix episodes. I don't stay on too long. We just kind of make our way through the season and then the playoffs. Look at the award winners. Chat, you have any questions, chat? Come on, keep me occupied here while the game is simming. Tell me about your favorite hockey memories. Tell me about what you know about hockey. Are you new to hockey? Anyone watching on YouTube, say hi. Again, no trades, so we decline all trades. Cavacom with the raid. All right, well, we got to give Cavacom a little bit of raid love. Welcome in, Raiders. Shout out the man, the myth, the legend, Cavacom. Thank you for the raid. Playing some Football Manager I saw earlier on. Football Manager, I can just see on my screen Football Manager 2. I don't know if that's supposed to be 25 or 24, but it just says Football Manager 2, ... Welcome in, Raiders. What we are doing here, let me go back to my main screen here because I want you guys to be aware of what you're watching. If you follow me on OOTP for a while, you know in the past I did Babe Ruth in the Matrix from OOTP 24. We are doing Connor McDavid in the Matrix. Yes, Connor McDavid is traveling around in the Matrix to every NHL team. Every episode is a new team. We go through it alphabetically. He started off in Anaheim. That's on my YouTube channel. You can go check that out. See how he did with the Ducks. And I like their new uniforms, by the way. The Ducks' new uniform. Oh, I need one. I need one now. Then we put him on Boston. That's the most recent one on the YouTube channel. I put that one up yesterday, playing a season with the Boston Bruins. And today, what if the balls fell in the right direction back in 2015? Buffalo had the best odds, and they lost the draft lottery. We're on a break right now, so when we come back, we will continue on with Connor McDavid in the Matrix. Be back in less than 2 minutes. So yes, for all the new people, all the Raiders coming in, just to give you some context of what this series is about. Connor McDavid, how would he help a team if he would have been drafted by every team in the NHL back in 2015? Buffalo had a 20% chance. They had the best odds of winning the Connor McDavid draft lottery. They were number one. Edmonton was number two. Edmonton was number three. Arizona number two. And Arizona, Buffalo moved down, and Edmonton moved up to number one. They had the balls that it took to win the draft lottery, and how things might have been different. So that's what we're doing on today's episode. Each episode is about 45 minutes or an hour, and we're working through each team alphabetically in the Matrix. The first two episodes are on my YouTube channel with Connor playing in Anaheim and then playing in Boston. Today, he is playing in Buffalo, and how weird does that look? Again, Buffalo fans, I'm sorry. I know you were tanking on purpose. Don't say you weren't. You were tanking. You were putting in third string goalies. You were putting in AHL players. You wanted the best odds on drafting Connor, and you didn't get them, did you? No, Edmonton did. So Connor McDavid playing with the Buffalo Sabres. Let's see how he manages to do this season. So we sim out the entire season, and if he makes the playoffs, we'll go through the playoffs as well. So again, if you're watching this, I'm simulcasting this on Twitch and on YouTube. Trades are turned off for all the teams, and injuries are turned off as well. So Connor's not going to get hurt, even though he's hurt in real life. We want Connor to play maximum 82 games. Well, Buffalo fans, look what could have been. Buffalo currently at the beginning of December, 18-6. So let's take Connor up to the new year, shall we? Let's take him up to the Colorado game. And when he does play Edmonton, we're going to kind of jump in and see how he does against his former team. Chat, what's going on this Saturday? By the way, I will be streaming OOTP at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to jump into an OOTP stream. Dishnet will not be on tonight. He made a post in Discord that he will not be doing the Saturday showdown. He will be saving his voice. He wants to save his voice for his Power Pro broadcast that he has to do at like 3 a.m. or something like that. Very, very early in the morning. Because, of course, it's mainly broadcast to the overseas audience. All right, Buffalo, 29-30 wins in January. They are in first place in the Atlantic Division. solidly in the playoff spot. And now Connor goes back home, real home, where he belongs. He goes to Edmonton. And let's sim this game out. Let's find out how Connor does. Cubs fan Steve, thank you for watching the VOD yesterday. And Cub fan Steve, you are still the backbone of the team. Steve Santolemieux, if you saw his stats at the end of the season, he was a workhorse. He might be playing too much. We might have to get Minerva a little bit more playtime because by the end of the season, you could tell he was worn out. And we won 23 games. That's the best we've done. So, Cub fan Steve, you're a big part of it. Steve Santolemieux, Denis Lemieux from the movie Slapshot is a big part of that success. So, as long as we keep moving up, you know, if we win 10 games next year, I'm going to question things. Owen Power. Plus, we have GT Sundown. We drafted GT Sundown's player yesterday. His last name is I can't remember his last name, Chad. If you remember, it was a cool name. An easy name to remember. It should have been an easy name to remember. And we also had the debut of TB8's player, Trey Bozo, on defense, played very well. And also Boiled Eggs player, Habshide, played very well as a rookie. Also had one award winner, Fussmucker, for the third consecutive year, won the Bill Masterson Trophy. So yeah, really fun. The Slapshot series every Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on Twitch. Buffalo on a goal by Owen Power is leading Edmonton 1-0. Draisaitl welcomes McDavid back home, tying the game up. And here we go to the third period. Buffalo, Edmonton. And again, usually we don't jump into the games, but it's kind of a unique game. Buffalo up against Edmonton. If Edmonton ties it up, we might watch the CPU play a little bit of it. 5 minutes left. Power play for Edmonton. They cannot score. And Connor McDavid sticks it to the Oiler fans as he comes to Edmonton, and his Buffalo Sabres will win 2-1. Luukkonen, Skinner, the two goaltenders, your top two stars, and Sean Lafferty is star number 3. Okay, well, Buffalo is having their best season in a long, long time. 32 wins, 16 losses. Connor McDavid leading the team with 59 points in the matrix, including 27 goals. Rasmus Dahlin, Tage Thompson, and Alex Tuck. And just to give you an idea where he is in the scoring race for the entire league, he's currently at the bottom of the first page. So you got the usual names up there: Austin Matthews, Nathan McKinnon, Kaprizov, Marner, Pasta, Nylander. A lot of Toronto Maple Leafs there. The game loves Toronto. Go figure. And there's Draisaitl from Edmonton, tied with his buddy, Connor McDavid from Buffalo. Okay, let's get back to the sim action here. And again, EA game sim fairly quickly. Let's go into early March, go up to the trade deadline. Again, we have injuries turned off, trades turned off. Even though trades are turned off, sometimes they still give offers like this one here. EA, don't you know your own programming? Come on. No trades. Again, all the teams have been untouched. Edmonton does not have McDavid. He was traded for a 7th round pick to Buffalo to accommodate the Matrix team here today. So no players were given back to Edmonton. Well, here we are on March 8th. The Buffalo Sabres are 38 wins, 21 losses. And if we go take a look at the standings here, Buffalo is in first place in the Atlantic. With about a month to go after 61 games, it's Buffalo, Detroit, Tampa, the Florida Panthers, and the Toronto Maple Leafs. In the entire league, where does Buffalo stand? Second overall, 1 point from being the best team in the league. And Edmonton, give props to Edmonton. They don't have McDavid, and they still have 76 points. They're fourth, tied for fourth in the league right now. So they're having a lot of success even without a McDavid on their team. Connor still leading the Buffalo Sabres in points. He's got 71 points in 61 games. And let's see if he's still on the first page overall. He is not. So he's moved down a little bit in the scoring race. Yeah. So not quite as, oh no, he should be up there. 71 points. 71 entire league. Yeah, no, he's not on the first page, just outside of it. Okay, Connor. Let's see, can you take this team to the playoffs? No spoilers on what he did on Boston or on Anaheim. He may or may not have taken those teams to the playoffs. Anaheim projected to be one of the worst teams in the league this year, so we played with them. Boston, usually always a good team. Weird seeing him in a Boston uniform. And at the beginning of April, the Buffalo Sabres have 44 wins. Yeah, again, I apologize, Buffalo fans. What could have been? 86 points for Connor McDavid. That should have put him back into the top 10. Yeah, there he is right there. Again, he and his buddy Draisaitl. It's like peanut butter and jelly, ham and cheese, boiled egg and crude jokes. They go hand in hand. Draisaitl and McDavid, 86 points. All right, where is Buffalo? Have they moved into first place overall? No. Looks like they're second now. They've been passed by the Toronto Maple Boos. Boo. Boo, Toronto. Buffalo third overall in the league, 3 points back of Nashville. Edmonton fifth overall. Both teams look like they're going to make the playoffs. Absolutely poo and teen, or poo and toddler. Poo and toddler go well together too. Poo and newborn, even more so. Well, there are a couple, Steve. There are a couple fans in Buffalo. I think Jimmy. I think Jimmy is one of the fans, and Donnie. I think Jimmy and Donnie. You know, oddly enough, a lot of their attendance comes from Canada. You know, the Canadian fans cross the border and go watch the Buffalo games, especially, you know, if Montreal's playing or Ottawa, Toronto. You know, the good news is Buffalo is in that division with all those Eastern Canadian teams. So that definitely helps their gate receipts. So Connor doing well. Let's go up to the Toronto game. Let's see how they play against one of the top teams in the league to end off the regular season. They beat Boston. They beat Carolina. 3-game win streak. Shut out Tampa Bay. EA, please let Buffalo beat Toronto. We don't like Toronto. Please. Connor, where are you, Connor? Connor's hometown. He grew up a Toronto Maple Leaf fan. He had the Toronto jammies, the Toronto jerseys, the Toronto bedding, the Toronto toothbrush. He had everything Toronto Maple Leafs. And the Toronto media is always like, oh, when his contract runs out in Edmonton, he's going to go back to Toronto because he doesn't like Edmonton. Yeah, right. He is one of the most loyal hockey players I've seen. He was so loyal to the Erie Otters, even though Erie didn't have a great team. Thank you, Connor. You're listening. He played his career in Erie, even though he could have been traded to a Memorial Cup contender. And I think the fact that Leon Draisaitl signed in Edmonton this summer, I think Leon knows his buddy's going to be back. Unless something weird happens, he should be back in Edmonton, hopefully for most of his career. We do not want to see Connor. Thank you, Connor. Connor is listening, and the Buffalo Sabres are going to do me a favor here in the third period and take out the Toronto Maple Leafs. Good to see, Buffalo. Good to see. And how about we give Connor the first star? Thank you. Connor McDavid, 2 goals, 1 assist, 1 hits. Oh, yeah, I think, going deep in the finals did help. I think, you know, the media doesn't always treat the players well here, even in Edmonton. Draisaitl, they always kinda, pick on Draisaitl. So if any of the signing shocked me, it was Draisaitl. The fact that he wanted to come back because he kinda takes a back seat to Connor. Like, on any other team, he would be the all-star, he'd get the endorsements, he'd be the guy on every other team except Edmonton. So the fact that he signed, I don't think there's any way he would sign in Edmonton the way the media treats him if he knew Connor wasn't coming back. And they're best buddies on the ice, off the ice. So if McDavid said, you know what, I'm going to go somewhere else, Connor would have been like, okay, I'm out of here. Just my guess, just my predictions there. So I think, like I said, unless something horribly goes wrong with management or they don't make the playoffs and he rethinks things, but he is a loyal guy. Like, he is so loyal to the teams that he's played on, and he sees the pieces that are here. He sees Leon here, he sees Skinner, he sees Bouchard, he sees the coaching staff. He's familiar with the coaching staff because he played for them in junior. New management is coming in. Bowman, who had success in Chicago. So, yeah, I think, will he sign 8 years? I could see him doing what Matthews did. Matthews, when his contract came up, signed 5 years in Toronto. I could see Connor doing 5 years and saying, "You know what? I'll commit for 5 more to see how things go." Because that's kind of the window, right, for Edmonton? The next 5 years after that, McDavid, Draisaitl kind of decline a little bit, and they don't have much in terms of prospects coming up. So their window is now. They've got to do things now. Unfortunately, they've got Dallas, they got Colorado, they've got Vegas. And Vegas always pulls out last minute trades to get top-notch players. So we'll see. They don't have a lot of cap space, unfortunately, to make big moves without trading some pieces. All right, let's finish off the regular season here. Connor McDavid in the Matrix in Buffalo, and the playoffs are here. Let's take a look around at the final regular season standings. Connor McDavid, we want to go to a different menu, this one here. Buffalo would finish with 50 wins this season, 103 points. They would pass Toronto. So that game at the end of the season against Toronto really helped them clinch first place. And they win the President's Trophy. Connor McDavid, as a member of the Buffalo Sabres, what could have been, fans. I'm sorry, both of you. I'm sorry for both the fans. Jimmy, Donnie, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Could have been a President's Trophy champion under the leadership of Connor McDavid. So they will finish first overall. Montreal finishes last. Ottawa, Pittsburgh, LA, Anaheim, and Dallas, surprisingly, towards the bottom of the standings. Stat-wise, Connor, synchronicity, take a drink. 97 points for number 97. I can't say much more. I can't. 97 points for number 97. Rasmus Dahlin, 83. Tage Thompson, Mr. Alex Tuck. And where is Connor overall? In terms of forwards, Connor finishes in the top 10. Above his buddy, Leon Draisaitl, 2 points more. 3 points shy of 100. Kaprizov, Pasternak, Nylander, McKinnon, Marner, and Matthews all reach 100 points. In terms of defensemen, Cale Makar from the Colorado Avalanche, 94. Rasmus Dahlin, probably due to Connor McDavid being on the team, 83 points. Shea Theodore, 29-year-old from Vegas, 76. And then Evan Bouchard and Quinn Hughes, 75 points. And in terms of goaltenders, Steve Santo Lemieux. Just kidding. He's not here. Yuri Saros, 42 wins for Nashville. Aiden Hill, 38. Luukkonen on Buffalo, 40. So, yeah, Connor McDavid has just made this team so much better. I mean, improved the stats on a lot of players. They win the President's Trophy. And now they're going up against the Detroit Red Wings. Division rival Detroit Red Wings. We are on a break. When we come back, we're going to sim the playoffs. Can Connor win a cup in Buffalo? We'll find out in a couple minutes. In the meantime, I got to go get some coffee. I got to make a Tim's run. Back in 2 minutes. All right. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to Connor McDavid in the Matrix EA NHL 25 series, episode number 3. First 2 episodes on the YouTube channel as he plays with Anaheim and with Boston. Working through all the teams alphabetically. So I believe, if I remember correctly, we got a lot of teams that start with C. I'm not looking forward to the next episode, chat. Connor McDavid will be in Calgary. Oh, that was rough coming out. Oh, yeah, he will be. And I do not have any Calgary Flame. The first jersey I won't be able to wear. I had an Anaheim jersey on for that episode. I had a Boston jersey on. Got the Buffalo Sabre jersey on. But I do not own a Calgary Flame jersey, and please do not send me one. I do not accept gifts of any Calgary Flames merchandise whatsoever. Good to see Cub fan Steve. Good to see TX Jenks. Good to see Flying WV. Just returning from the hot box where he rented the hot box. Would you get an hour's worth, 2 hours worth from the hot box? I don't know. I still find that one of the funniest stocking moments I've had. That's right up there with Wings and Things. The hot box and having that Mexican cantina that had kitty, the stray cats for kitties or something. Kitty Stray Cat House, or man, that was a good one in West Virginia. And you guys know your wood in West Virginia. I was impressed with the wood that West Virginians have. A lot of cool shapes, a lot of burnt. I mean, you guys, I don't know what the friction there, but there's a lot of burnt wood in West Virginia. So that was a fun episode. I don't know if it's still on the VOD, but if you guys want to laugh, every time I do geo-stalking, there's always something. Last time it was with A-Dub, went to, where we go? Not Utah, the other one, Idaho. We went to southeastern Idaho, Preston, Idaho, and found a lot of cool places there too. Let's get back to the playoffs, shall we? Detroit up against the Buffalo Sabres. An hour's worth? Okay, that's good. I hear though, if you buy 3 hours, you get 1 hour free. I don't know. I'm still waiting for the selfie on my Discord, Flying WV. Come on. Even Roy Washington. Are you gonna let Roy Washington and Preston, Idaho beat you? Put you to shame? They sent in selfies. One was with the dog on a leash. That's fine. But we even had a selfie with Cowgirl Coffee. Come on. I want you outside the hot box or outside the Kitty Cantana. One of those places we talked about. Okay, let's go to the playoffs. By the way, I'll be doing an OOTP stream at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you're just joining in, I will be going into OOTP. Want to take a look ahead at 80s week, a look back at the cards that came out on Thursday. Want to give you some tips and recommendations for the new players on how you should approach the next month ahead in OOTP. I don't know any secrets or anything like that, but from someone that has played this game for a long time and seen patterns of how things go, I'm going to share a little bit of insights on what the new players should be thinking about for the next month of OOTP. Plus, we're going to look at the PAX only teams as we get closer to the playoffs. I will not be streaming the playoffs tomorrow, but we will take a look at that. and go into the Saturday Showdown. So if you have a Saturday Showdown team, Dish will not be broadcasting that tonight. He's saving his voice for Power Pros and his international broadcast, but I will be jumping in a little bit here and there into the Saturday Showdown. Won't be covering it entirely, but we'll announce the teams and maybe watch the first game that I'm part of. All right, let's go into the first three games of the playoffs. Connor McDavid in round one. Buffalo wins 5-4 in overtime. They win 2-0. They lose game 3 in Detroit, game 4 in Detroit. We are tied at 2. Connor goes back home to Buffalo for game number 5. And it's a loss. So that means we jump in during an elimination game. We do kind of the slow sim here. Buffalo on the brink of elimination. And this is so synchronicity to what we saw in Anaheim and Boston for the first 2 episodes. Let's see how this one plays out. Buffalo needs to win 2 in a row against the 8 seed. That's right. Detroit was the 8 seed. Buffalo was the best team in the regular season. And now they are looking like they might have to go play golf. Rasmussen scores the first goal of the game for Detroit. All right, well, if you ever go back, if you ever visit that area of West Virginia, what was it? Appleton? Apple something, right? Oh, no, that was Wisconsin, Apple something. I've been to so many places now. We go to the third period. Buffalo down by 1. Connor McDavid ties the score up. Connor. All right, well, again, we usually don't jump in, but Connor's Buffalo career, by the way, did you see him in his uniform? Look at him. He's got the playoff beard. But again, we want to give Connor, we want to give him the lap jersey. Connor, you're going to play in the lap jersey, okay? Is that okay with you? Ooh, that is a lot of white. Holy smokes. Don't like that combination. All right, Connor, where do we go? Where are you? Man, that was back in 2016? No, 2009. We're going to give you the same uniform. Who cares if Buffalo is or Detroit's in their away uniform as well? Okay, let's go watch the last few minutes here and see if that's going to be the end of the episode. Connor, in game 6 in Detroit, scored the tying goal in the third period on the ice. There you go, Buffalo fans. That's what you would have seen back in 2015. Connor, 7 minutes to go. Next goal is likely going to win this. Will we see a game 7? Or will Detroit go on to round 2? Cousins with a shot. Oh, what a save by Husso. Larkin comes up the ice. Again, I got the sound off right now just for copyright reasons. Oh, what a save by Luukkonen. Both goalies coming up big late in the third period. Connor loses the puck. See a few Buffalo jerseys in the stands there. Some folks made their way down. Jimmy and Donnie came down from Buffalo to catch the game. Patrick Kane, a quick shot, and Luukkonen with the save. Buffalo looking a little nervous on the bench there. Connor McDavid, 10 points, leads the playoffs with 10 points. Be a shame if he has to go home after this game. He stays on the ice. Detroit putting the pressure on. A little bit of a hook there. Another hook. Refs letting everything go like they usually do in the playoffs. Tuck to McDavid, to Paterka, and a shot saved by Husso. Less than a minute to go in the third period. Connor McDavid in the matrix. Playing with another former teammate, Ryan McLeod. McDavid points back to his defenseman where he wants to draw the puck back to. Wins the faceoff. Dahlin with the shots. They mapped out that play perfectly. McDavid again on the faceoff. Loses the draw. Morris Sider up to Vladimir Tarasenko. Tarasenko breaks away. What speed! Oh, another opportunity. Buffalo looking a little disheveled here. Here we go. Paterka. Back to Alex Tuck. 30 seconds to go in the third period. Overtime looms. Comfort to Tarasenko had a burst of speed earlier. Oh, what a quick shot, and Luukkonen shuts the door. 35 shots on goal for Buffalo, 24 shots for the Detroit Red Wings, and a huge body check there on Paterka. Zucker, Thompson, and Cousins come out for the last 15 seconds. Detroit wins the faceoff. Sider moves in. What a save. Man, that Luukkonen coming up big in the third. Patrick Kane, the Brinket. And that's going to do it. We are going to overtime. And we'll watch a little bit. If there's no goal after the first 10 minutes or so, then we will fast sim it, because the playoffs in overtime, we could have 5 overtimes. End of regulation, game number 6. It is Buffalo 1 and Detroit 1, thanks to a third period goal by Connor McDavid. Morris Sider loses the puck. McDavid, nice little pass to Paterka. Paterka dumps it in, chops it in, finishes his check. Man on a mission, gets the puck to McDavid. And in tight, cannot find an opening on Husso. Look at that, Paterka. Would have been the ESPN play of the game there if he could have converted that opportunity. All right, McDavid loses the faceoff, goes into forecheck. DeBrincat dumps it in and chases it. Rasmus Dahlin with DeBrincat. DeBrincat comes away with the puck. Ben Chariot. Buffalo, Bowen Byram, lead pass up to Tuck. Tuck moves into center ice, and another save. Defenseman moves in for the shot. 37th shot on goal for the Buffalo Sabres. McDavid back out there. They're not wasting any time putting their top line back on the ice. DeBrincat over to Patrick Kane, number 88. Dangles back to DeBrincat. McDavid recovers a loose puck, gives it up to Patrick Kane. Chariot moves in from the defensive zone, and he will score the overtime winner. Buffalo upset in the matrix on a giveaway. And the number 8 seed Detroit Red Wings, after being outshot, will go to the handshake line and move on to round number 2. Let's watch that last goal here. Just big save by Luukkonen. Detroit finishing their checks, and here comes the winning goal. Moves in. A lot of room. No one's attacking him. Third star of the game, Michael Rasmussen. The second star, Ben Chariot, and it's got to be their goalie. Got to be their goalie as the first star. Oh, maybe not. Maybe they're going to give it to the guy that scored the winning goal. Billy Husso. Yes, Billy Husso, their goaltender. What an outstanding game. 36 saves. Okay, well, again, par for the course from what we've seen from the first two episodes. Let's go find out who wins the Stanley Cup in this Matrix version. Now that Buffalo is out, we don't really care. And we've got Minnesota versus Edmonton in one of the conference finals, and the Rangers versus the Lightning in the other one. And in the Stanley Cup finals, the Minnesota Wild will take on the New York Rangers. Rangers up 3-0. Can they sweep the Wild? No, the Wild come back and win game 4. They win game 5. We have a reverse sweep. It is 3-3. And I can't jump into these games. It doesn't allow me to go into another game here. So game number 7 coming up. Are the Rangers going to choke? Your Stanley Cup champions, after being down 3-0, will reverse sweep and defeat the New York Rangers. What a comeback for Minnesota. What a comeback indeed. All right, here is your playoff tree. Minnesota beats the Rangers in 7. They will defeat Edmonton in 6. They beat Utah in 5, and they knock out Colorado in round 1 in 7 games. In the Eastern Conference, it was the Rangers defeating the Lightning in 6, Capitals in 6, and the Hurricane in 5. Take a look at your playoff leaders here in points. Connor McDavid only played 1 round, but he had 10 points. Connor, you did the best you could, buddy, in Buffalo. Artemi Panarin leads the playoffs with 34 points. It'd be interesting to see if they give him the Conn Smythe, just like they did Connor McDavid last year. You know, it's funny. Minnesota Wild reverse swept, almost what Edmonton did. Edmonton lost the first 3 games to Florida. They won the next 3, and then they lost game 7. So will they give the losing team the Conn Smythe Trophy? We'll find out. Eriksson Ek, 30 points, Kaprizov, 28, and Zibanejad. So a couple Minnesota and a couple Ranger players there. Let's go to your award winners. Of course, Minnesota, your Stanley Cup champion. Buffalo Sabres, best regular season. Didn't mean much. Minnesota wins the Western Division Conference, and New York wins the Eastern Conference. Individual awards. Congratulations, Austin Matthews. Most points in the NHL in the regular season. Wins the Art Ross. He also is the most valuable player in the NHL last season. Cale Makar wins the James Norris for the best defenseman. William Nylander from Toronto, best gentlemanly and sportsmanship conduct, a Lady Byng Trophy winner. Your Rookie of the Year is Will Smith from your San Jose Sharks, Pop Stongoria. Eriksson Ek, so they do give the Conn Smythe to the winning team, player from the winning team. He wins the playoff MVP. Your Vezina Trophy goes to Jordan Binnington from St. Louis. William Jennings for the fewest goals scored against is Sorokin from the Isle. Cernik is your Bill Masterson Trophy winner. This is the trophy that Fussmucker has won 3 times, and Mr. Calgill has won a couple times for the Slapshot team. Barkov, your Frank J. Selke best defensive aspects of the game winner. And the final 2, the players have voted, and they have voted Austin Matthews MVP and your Rocket Richard winner, Austin Matthews. Well, Austin Matthews, he didn't win the cup either. So, there you go, Austin. Okay, well, episode number 3 is done. Connor McDavid, even though he finishes with 10 points in the playoffs, it is not enough to propel them to the next round. Buffalo, little bit of a glimpse of what it's like with Connor on your team. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the episode today. Again, just an hour episode. I will be back with some OOTP in a couple hours' time to kind of fill in the gap as we will lead into Max LP, who's on later tonight at 9:30, in Ezra Denny's spot because Ezra does not stream on Saturdays. So if you need some OOTP drops, if you want to play in a bounty tournament for 10 packs, I'm going to have a bounty tournament ready to go. It's going to be a draft. So hopefully you have a draft slot available. If you don't, and we can't get enough people for a draft, we will go to one of the traditional quicks. But I want to do one of the weird drafts tonight. Thank you guys. Hopefully you'll be around in a couple hours. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Don't forget, turn your clocks back.